Describe how you handle yourself when you're stressed or under pressure. Please describe one tough situation you found yourself in with a coworker or manager and how you handled that particular situation.
Stress is something you're always going to encounter in the work environment. And people always view stress as like a negative thing, but I don't feel that it's always negative. I think a mild to a moderate amount of stress is actually a good thing, and I feel that it actually helps me. It motivates me to get the task done and like want to get it done in a timely manner. I think sometimes stress can exceed your like ability to cope, and I think that's when stress can become negative. And I think sometimes if you're under an excessive amount of stress, then you need to just sit down with your boss or your manager and to, like discuss it with them because maybe like you need help on the task. Maybe it is like too much for one person to handle. And I think that like maybe they could like actually help you out and you could develop like a plan of action that would be better. And in regards to the second part, when you said like a tough situation that I encountered with a coworker, I actually worked in the restaurant industry for all of high school and college, and I was a waitress. And so, as a waitress, like customers are always depending on you to get their food out in a timely manner. And I noticed that it was a busy night, but I noticed the kitchen was taking longer than normal to get the food out. And so I went back there to check on my food, and it still wasn't ready. But I noticed that the head chef was on his phone, and he wasn't helping get any orders out. So I went back about 2 minutes later, and he was still on his phone, and my food still wasn't up. So I walked back into the kitchen, and I just asked him if he didn't mind trying to get my food out as soon as possible, and that I noticed that the customers were getting kind of agitated. And he proceeded to raise his voice at me, and he told me that it was none of my business what he was doing, and that he was doing everything he could to get the food out as soon as possible, which I knew wasn't the case. But I decided just to shut my mouth, and I walked away. And I apologized to customers for the long wait. And later that night, I decided it was best to discuss it with my manager because there was nothing in that moment I could have said to him to change his negative attitude or to get the food out faster. So, and the manager ended up handling the situation and was discussing with him later because they had noticed the same issue. So I think sometimes you're gonna in the workforce you're gonna like deal with people that are hard to work with, but it's sometimes best to just realize that like you have to agree to disagree and shut your mouth and maybe if it is a problem that needs to be assessed, discuss it with your boss or manager.